Your body doesn't know the difference between a lion chasing you and a work deadline.
If you are someone who is going through a fat loss phase or just trying to maintain lean muscle mass, having too much cortisol over time is actually going to make you break down your muscle tissue faster than someone who has lower level of cortisol.
Welcome back to the Kraken Power Podcast.
So when I was 25, I was in my last year of university. And as people go through university, it's one of the most stressful times in my life so far because you're inundated with exams, but also just trying to live your regular life. I always thought that going to university wouldn't be that stressful if that's the only thing I had ever had to focus on. And so even though I've been in the fitness industry for a while, I've always wanted to get better at my health. And so I was training lots. I was training jiu-jitsu once or twice a day. I was lifting, and I was making sure that I was keeping track of my diet. At this time, I was like, I want to make sure I'm into a certain weight class. I was actually in a calorie deficit. And what I didn't know that doing all these things in combination was actually loading my body up with so much stress. So much stress that what ended up happening was I actually got shingles. And so for those who don't know, shingles is a byproduct of you having chickenpox earlier in your life. It gets stored in your body, and it can come up usually later in life when your immune system is at an all-time low where it seeks an opportunity to come out and take place. And so I was 25 years old having a disease that usually like 60, 70, 80-year-olds get because their immunity is so low. And the funny thing is, I thought I was doing everything right. I thought I was being healthy. I thought I was tracking my diet really well. I thought I was exercising as much as I could. But underneath the surface, what was going on was I was loading my body up with stress because I wasn't getting very good sleep. I was extremely stressed because of my exams and how much load I had at university. But also adding in those extra workouts, adding in a calorie deficit was spiking my cortisol level to a level higher than what was actually normal.
To people on the outside, you were basically doing everything right. Everybody's like, wow, Brandon's exercising so much. He's so lean. He looks good. He's doing jiu-jitsu. He's going to school. Oh, wow, his life must be so good. But then inside, you were slowly dying.
Very, very slowly dying. And it was accumulation of over time, not just all at once. I mean, I was doing these things all at once, but it wasn't just like this happened in 1 week where I just did all these things normally or more than what I would normally do. It was a culmination of months, years of the stress building up to a point where my body couldn't take it anymore. And so I think this took a really big lesson that I can paint to everyone else is that what you may see with someone going on the outside may not be actually what's going on underneath the cover of like what's going on underneath the hood.
Cortisol is a strange thing because it's actually required. So it's the thing that wakes you up in the morning. Melatonin ends up getting you to fall asleep. But the thing that ends up causing your melatonin to drop in the morning is your cortisol coming up. And that's essentially what wakes you up. And that's the reason why, people go to coffee is because it actually spikes your cortisol. And then so you feel more awake in the morning. So your body's kind of like seeking that cortisol in the morning, but also cortisol is the thing that kind of keeps you going as well. So you know how people say like, oh, I function the best when I'm stressed, under stress, like under high pressure in my job and stuff. That's cortisol. And the unfortunate side effect of having too much cortisol, because you don't want to have no cortisol. Cortisol is a good thing in small doses, of course, but the side effect of having too much cortisol, this is where you can get belly fat. Belly fat storage is caused by, not primarily caused, but like it is caused by having high cortisol. Also, high cortisol can cause heart issues. High cortisol can cause brain fog. There's many things that high cortisol can cause, and it's ultimately what leads to a lot of disease and aging as well. So populations where cortisol is low end up living longer.
So like you're saying, cortisol isn't a net negative. Like it's not always bad. Like there are some positives to it. But where cortisol can really screw you over in the long run is having it in the long run and having this accumulation over time like it was happening to me when I was younger. And I think that where cortisol is going to affect people the most is kind of, you've touched upon this a little bit too, is in people's sleep. It is there to help wake you up in the morning, but if you're loaded up with cortisol when you're supposed to actually be resting and going into a deeper state of sleep, that's not the point in which you want that level of cortisol. And on top of that, if you're not getting good sleep, that means you're just not recovering well, and there's going to be an endless cycle of you digging yourself deeper and deeper and deeper.
Another thing that cortisol affects is your hormones that make you feel full, and also the ones that create hunger signals as well. So you can imagine that if you're feeling hungry all day, it's going to be harder for you automatically to, not open the fridge a dozen times in a day. When you're going out for food, keeping your portions smaller, right? So that's another thing that you have to watch out for. Another good reason for you to try to keep your cortisol lower.
By the way, if you're watching this thinking, I wish I had a coach like that, you can. We coach people online. You get a real, dedicated Kraken coach writing your program, checking in every single week through video, all through your phone. The link's in the description.
So while we're on the topic of body composition, if you are someone who is going through a fat loss phase or just trying to maintain lean muscle mass, having too much cortisol over time is actually going to make you break down your muscle tissue faster than someone who has lower level of cortisol. And the reason for that is it is that fight or flight hormone, which is buying into the now, getting ready for you to escape or react to some heightened event that you're experiencing now.
Your body doesn't know the difference between a lion chasing you and a work deadline. To your body is just stress, is just cortisol. So whether it's like your kids waking up in the middle of the night, whether it's you doom scrolling all the way until 12 a.m., whether it's work deadlines, whether it's a spouse argument, like that's all stress. And where the caveman is running away from the lion once every 6 months, I don't know, something like that, you are dealing with constant stress day to day, and it's just building up that cortisol. Like modern life is technically more stressful than it was back when people were living in the bushes.
So I actually have a really good example of this. I have a client and she was getting ready for a wedding. And she was doing everything right. She was in the gym 2 or 3 times a week, doing full strength training workouts. She was tracking her nutrition. And at this point, we're trying to get her to lose weight to fit into her dress. And so she was in a calorie deficit. But she was so stressed about this portion of her wedding being planned that her weight was just really hanging on. And the funny point of this story is that there was a weekend where she met up with her wedding planner, and the wedding planner was like, "Don't worry, I got this. Everything's going to be good on this day." And her stress fell off of her. And sure enough, when we looked at their data for the following week, her weight also plummeted after this.
Unfortunately, you can't just offload your stress to a wedding planner throughout your entire life. This is a once in a lifetime situation here. But there are many different ways that you can start offloading your stress and start clearing up your mind so that you can bring down your cortisol. So what do you have? What kind of suggestions do you have for people?
The number one thing that I would suggest is put sleep as a priority. We already talked about this, but there's a lot of hormones like leptin and ghrelin are going to control your hunger, but also your sleep is going to be the time that your cortisol comes down and also puts you into a state of deep relaxation. And so that is going to reduce the amount of hunger signals that you have the next day, but also help you recover from that stress that you had during the day.
Mm-hmm. And another thing too is just, turning your phone off, getting off of Instagram, putting that away, because right now, like, there's so much stuff going on in the world, and that is stress. You reading the headlines and seeing all these flashy headlines about like war and famine and all that does create tons of stress. You may not be realizing it, but if you're always in that, your cortisol is going to be really high. So turn off Instagram, delete it off your phone, all of that stuff that everybody knows about. And another thing that really helped me was reducing the amount of exercise I'm doing. So I still go for a walk on a daily basis, but the thing that I don't do is weight train every single day. Especially now that I'm older, my body just can't handle it anymore, and I feel so much better with a lot better clarity, a lot less mental fog when I've reduced my exercise. And so I only train 2 times per week now, and I've tested my cortisol. My cortisol is on the lower side, not too low, but it's on the lower side. So I've solved that problem for myself.
And the cool thing, I bet, is that because you're training less, you can actually dig into those training sessions harder and more effectively, would you say?
I'm able to train harder now, and I do train harder now in those short bursts, and then I rest hard after that. So with that, now whereas before I was kind of like stuck with my strength training, I wasn't increasing strength anymore. Now I'm increasing strength because recovery is way more important.
And so if you were to take away anything from this, we don't always want you to think that more is always better. When it comes to cortisol and stress, sometimes less is more. And so the last piece of practical advice would be to, if you're battling high levels of cortisol, would be to try subtracting things from your daily life rather than trying to add them to get to where you are.